we're going to be going over how to detach the belt from the guide light frame. So this is the frame system that will show up on the Marshall, the Metcalf, the Pintler, the Cabinet, and the Mule. So here we go. To start, we are going to unthread the webbing from the back tri-glide of the belt, not to be confused with the redirect belt towards the front. That one's more of a micro adjustment once you have it attached. This is what we're going to remove to actually detach the whole belt system. So it's a simple kind of double threaded belt, or double threaded web here. Being that this waist belt is attached to, the webbing of this waist belt is attached to the foam of the belt, we have to detach that first. We're going to repeat that on both sides. So now our webbing is free. The next step is going to be to loosen and detach the webbing on the outer wing from holding that lumbar wrap into place. So there's a small male-female buckle back there. We're going to detach that and then remove the velcro from the front and back of that wing. And that'll free that belt up from the frame. So similar to the webbing, we need to repeat that on both sides. Once our webbing is fully detached, unbuckle this front male-female so you can pull that wrap through the lumbar. There is Velcro back there, so we're gonna have to stick our hand in and break that Velcro seal. Depending on how long the pack's been used, sometimes that takes a little work. Velcro tends to seat over time a little bit more thoroughly with weight and such. But keep working it, it'll break, and then once you pull it through and it's detached, you can just kind of shimmy that belt through and the foam will loosen up and be able to come through that lumbar fairly easily, but you know, with a little bit of work. At that point, your belt is freed up from your frame. And then to reattach, we're basically gonna reverse the operations. So to start, you're gonna wanna take that outside buckle and just thread it through behind the lumbar. And again, like I said, reverse it. Just start feeding it through. Again, with our belts, we always do the longer side on the bottom, and that belt's gonna wanna curve up. So if you're reattaching a belt, make sure you put it on right side up. In general, the size tag also will end up on the top here. But for the most part, the long side's on the bottom, so make sure that curve is kind of wrapping up around the hip. But we're just gonna pull that belt through, and it should snap into place. That Velcro will stop it from pulling through too quickly and getting out of place. After that, we're gonna sort of sandwich this flapper between the two sets of loop Velcro. So you have hook on the frame here, and you're gonna place it and thread that buckle through the little hole, reattach that Velcro, and then we have our male-females. I like to extend our little flap there to make it easier to attach behind our flapper coming off the frame here. And then once that is attached, you're gonna wanna pull that tab and make sure it's nice and tight and seated. That keeps your belt sturdily attached to the frame, which is crucial for packing out big loads. Now the belt is properly seated in there, and we are going to reattach the webbing, which we do to the tri-glide that comes off that flapper we just sandwiched in. So you're gonna start with that front one, weave it through the front, then the back, give yourself a little space, and then bring it back through the front section of that tri-glide. And that's gonna lock your webbing in place, and it pulls that tension from your frame into the waist. So that is how to detach and reattach a waist belt on the guide light frame.